everybody. In this episode of the Demas Files, we're going to be looking at the hidden cost of worldliness. The hidden cost of worldliness. What exactly does it mean to love the Word? Does it mean you can't enjoy nice things? Does it mean Christians shouldn't have money? Does it mean you shouldn't have a successful career? Does it mean you can't enjoy music, entertainment, travel, food, fashion, or the good things God has placed in this life? Not necessarily. But the Bible gives us a serious warning about something called worldliness. And the story of Demas helps us understand why it matters. Paul wrote in 2 Timothy 4:10, "For Demas has forsaken me, having loved this present world." Those words are heartbreaking. Demas had worked alongside Paul. He had been involved in ministry. He had been part of the Christian community, but eventually his love for the present world became greater than his commitment to the work of Christ. So today we're going to ask, what is worldliness and what does it cost us when we allow the world to become more important than God? What does it mean to love the Word? Let's start with an important distinction. When the Bible says do not love the Word, it isn't telling us to hate people. John 3:16 says, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him should not perish." So what does John mean when he later writes, "Do not love the Word or the things in the Word"? 1 John 2:15. The answer is found in the verses that follow. 1 John 2:16 describes the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. Biblical worldliness is not simply enjoying God's creation. It is adopting a system of values that puts self, pleasure, possessions, pride, temporary things ahead of God. The issue isn't whether you have possessions. The issue is whether possessions have you. The issue isn't whether you enjoy success. The issue is whether success has become your identity. The issue isn't whether you enjoy entertainment. The issue is whether entertainment has become more important to you than your relationship with Christ. The Word can look attractive. This is one reason worldliness is so dangerous. It doesn't always look evil. Sometimes it looks beautiful. It looks successful. It looks comfortable. It looks exciting. It looks like the life you've always wanted. That's what makes it so difficult to recognize. Sin doesn't always arrive looking like destruction. Sometimes it arrives looking like opportunity. Sometimes temptations sound like, "You deserve this. Everyone else is doing it. Just this one time." God understands. Your career is important. Your comfort matters. And little by little, our desires begin to change. Demas loved this present world. Paul's wording is important. He says, Demas loved this present world. He wasn't simply simply saying Demas owned something. He wasn't saying Demas had a job. He wasn't saying Demas enjoyed life. The problem was where Demas's affection had settled. His heart had become attached to this present world. And when the world becomes more attractive than Christ, something is seriously wrong. Jesus said in Matthew 6:21, "For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also." Your heart follows your treasure. What you value shapes what you pursue. And what you pursue eventually shapes what you become. The hidden cost of worldliness. What does worldliness cost us? First, it can cost us our peace. When our happiness depends on circumstances, we become anxious whenever circumstances change. Second, worldliness can cost us our contentment. The more we chase, the more we need. Ecclesiastes 5:10 says, "He who loves silver will not be satisfied with silver." The word always promises just a little more, but a little more never seems to be enough. Third, worldliness can cost us our spiritual sensitivity. When our hearts become consumed with temporary things, we can become less sensitive to the things of God. Fourth, worldliness can cost us our priorities. We can become so focused on building our lives that we forget why God gave us life in the first place. Jesus asked a question we cannot ignore. In Mark 8:36, Jesus said, "For what will it profit a man if he gains the whole world and loses his own soul?" Imagine having everything: the money, the house, the career, the influence, the recognition, the success, and yet losing your own soul. Jesus is asking us to think beyond today, beyond this year. Think beyond your careers. Jesus is asking us to think beyond our earthly achievements. Jesus is asking, what are you ultimately living for? In conclusion, Demas gives us a warning that is still relevant today. He started as a fellow laborer, but eventually he loved the present world more than the things of Christ. And the tragedy isn't simply that Demas changed his location, his heart changed directly. That's why we need to examine our hearts regularly. The world is passing away. Its applause is temporary. Its pleasures are temporary. Its possessions are temporary. But Christ is eternal. So enjoy God's blessings. Work hard, dream, build, serve, celebrate. But don't let temporary things become eternal priorities. Because when Christ remains our greatest treasure, we can live in this world without becoming owned by this world. And that's how we finish well. If this message challenged you, subscribe to this channel and share it with someone who needs this reminder.
Watch out for our next video, or watch one of our favorites here.